Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. I have one of my favorite human beings talking about one of the most amazing organizations in town. It's Michelle Sperzel with Harbor House of Central Florida. We are here to talk about what Harbor House does, kind of give you an update. I just shared this with someone the other day and they had no idea
Yeah.
that we had such services, and they asked me how they could volunteer and how they can get involved. So that's why we are constantly, Michelle does many of these, many more than me, but we are constantly getting in front of you because we want you to know about their services. And if you need them, we want you to have access. Anything. Is that me, you, me?
Mine. Hold
It's
on.
all right. You know, people love nobody's going to ever say anything. But Michelle is an amazing human being, one of my dearest friends, and she's the CEO. And I forget what your other title is, but CEO of Harbor
Just
House.
that's
Sperzel. Welcome back, love. How you doing?
I'm good, and I don't need any other title or anything. Being part of Harbor House is amazing and enough. I don't need any other titles.
Well, I got you. It is an amazing organization. I've been working with it even since before Michelle
Yeah.
was here, and I just am such a proponent of it. Many of you know my story. I come from a household with DV as a child and a child abuse survivor, and it just to know that those services would have been available when I was younger. I mean, I just think about what that would have done, changed. But you know, we have them now, and that's why we want to make sure more people have access to them. They know about them, and they understand how much good you all do in the community. All right, enough of me talking. Michelle, tell them a little bit about you.
So, I've been at Harbor House. You're going to be surprised, Ted. It's going to be 9 years in January. Yes, I've been doing the work as far as domestic violence services for almost 17 years, because before this, I was at another domestic violence center, and then I was doing work in Chicago, working with at-risk teenage girls who were in domestic violence situations. And so this is definitely my life's work. And October is here, and it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And so I'm just so grateful that you asked us to come on to the show so we can talk a little bit about awareness. We talk about it, and you are an amazing advocate, and you talk about it all year round, and we so appreciate that. But there's two things that the community puts a spotlight on in October, and that's breast cancer and then also domestic violence. And so I like to say that it's a pink and purple month. We can share it.
It is a pink and purple month.
It is pink and purple because they're both just amazing and amazing causes that both need equal awareness. And so when we come to October, I'm all about the purple. But then you'll notice that I'll have pink in my hair sometimes.
Always, you have pink. I've seen it. I know. I love it. I love the purple and pink. I hadn't heard that before, but that's beautiful. And I think a lot of people, you know, domestic violence didn't used to be talked about, right? It was when I grew up and was in it, it was quote unquote the family's business, and there was not a lot of help or a lot of ways out. And thank God we have progressed in that arena.
Mm-hmm.
But tell people about Harbor House. Explain the services, and because you do a myriad of things, and of course you include animals, which is pause for peace. No, yes, pause for peace. But let you tell the story.
Yeah,
it's a lot. It's amazing.
It's a lot. So when people are asking me about Harbor House, a lot of times people think about an emergency shelter. And we have the largest emergency shelter in the state under one roof. We have 136 beds. As of today, we have 116 people living in our emergency shelter. Half of them are kids. And that's one of our really amazing life-saving services. And it's a very large part of what it is that we do. We also have a 24-hour crisis hotline. So that might be someone who's needing help coming into the emergency shelter, or someone who's interested in filing an injunction and they need more information about it. And someone calls the hotline, we can make a referral right to our legal program, and they can get some free legal services right away from some of our attorneys. We also have outreach offices. And so those offices are published addresses. One of them is downtown on Colonial, where we have support groups where we're working with survivors who don't need housing. They might have left their domestic violence situation, and they are here now and they're living a violence-free life, but they want to have more tools, more understanding of what it is that how they can navigate a healthy relationship versus a violent relationship. We have therapists, and so we have 4 different therapists that'll work with individuals. Some of them are bilingual as well, and that's just some of our services. We also have services down at the courthouse where we have advocates that will be working with individuals. We work in partnership with the clerk of court to help people file injunctions, in addition to having attorneys that will represent individuals when it comes to injunctions. We work really closely with Department of Children and Family. So a lot of times there's domestic violence that's happening when there is, and so DCF might be involved if there's any type of child abuse. And so we will talk to the investigators and explain to them what might be happening when it comes to domestic violence. We do a lot of education there as a subject matter expert and work really closely with them, because we want to make sure that our families are kept together when it comes to domestic violence and that the perpetrator is held accountable. So we want to make sure that the kids are with the non-offending parents. We do a lot of work to make sure that happens. And also we do a lot of work with reunifications. And so making sure that if children are removed, how can we work with the families so that the non-offending parent can get their kids back. And then we have a lot of programming in our schools as well. So we do a lot of prevention programming so that we can stop violence before it starts. Yes. And also like really work with kids and let them know that what they are seeing in their home might not be normal. It's not, that violence is not okay. And to be able to talk to adults about what might be happening in their home, and that we can help them break the cycle of domestic violence in their home. So we do a lot.
Yes, you do. Unbelievable.
Yes.
And talk about one of my favorite things, of course, is the kennel. The kennel. I just think that's so important. I don't think people realize why it's important. So I always like you to share that message, because I think it's so unique what we have here.
So we have an on-site kennel on our emergency campus. So if someone's coming into our emergency shelter and they are fleeing, we want to make sure they can bring their entire family. And that includes their pets. And so cats, dogs, parrots, lizards, snakes. We've had lots of rabbits in there as well. And so we want to make sure that the entire family ends up being safe. And so we have the on-site kennel, and right now we have 5 animals with us. We have 3 cats. 2 of them are little tiny kittens. And then we also have the dogs. And one thing that's really great about the kennel is that often animals are the first victims of violence in a family. That when some of our pets come in, that they have been severely neglected because the abuser wouldn't let someone take care of their animal. They might have come in with everything from broken bones to stab wounds to burns. So we also make sure that we are able to provide help and safety to the animals that are coming in as well. And then also just the unconditional love that is there, so that the animals are not another thing that have to be left behind, that you're taking that with you, and that you're able to have your cats love on you and your dogs love on you, or on your kiddos that you bring in as well. So that's a really amazing life-saving program. And every year we do an event in April called Pause for Peace. And so that's something that we ask people to walk, we ask people to run, and raise money for the kennel for running it, and also for all those medical expenses.
Unbelievable. Just amazing. I remember I had another family member whose abuser threatened the dog. And then they took the dog with them, but the shelter at the time, and this is back in the 70s, the shelter at the time had no place to put the dog. So they had to give the dog up. Maybe this was the 80s. And so what a life-saving program. I mean, it's just because sometimes they'll choose to stay.
Yeah.
Because of their pet, because that's your pet's your family. We both talked about that before we went live, how important that is. All right. So October 8th, we have the Purple Door Luncheon. If you didn't notice, the theme is purple. Even my logo is purple, which I love.
I love it.
Tell us about the Purple Door Luncheon.
So Purple Door Luncheon is our signature event. We do it every October to celebrate survivors and the other community partners that help Harbor House do the work that we do, because we are not doing this alone. We are doing it in partnership with a bunch of different businesses and the government and different individuals in the community help us spread awareness and help us save survivors every year. And so This year, and every year, we honor different champions. And this year, we are honoring 3 different champions. You might know one of them.
I know. I want to tell you, it's crazy. That email came in, and at first I glanced at it and I thought, well, I got to go back to that. But yeah, just an honor. I'll let you keep talking, but of course she's talking about me. And so I get choked up about that. Just such an unexpected honor. So I can't thank you all enough, but I'll let you tell all of the other people and what this represents.
Yes. So we choose different champions that help Harbor House do the work that we do. And so this year we have 2 other champions besides you, Ted. One of them is the Lutheran Canine Group. And so we have 2 different therapy dogs that come in all the time that are spending time with our youngest of survivors. They do a lot in our children's program, and they travel out to camp every year. And so that's Mora and Peace, and
I met them.
Yes, they're amazing. They're so amazing.
Oh my God, they were so
I know. I just hug Peace every time I see her. So
sweet.
They're so sweet, and like the peace that they end up bringing our survivors and other people. I mean, they're also, and their handlers respond to hurricanes and fires, and so to have that be something that we can offer to our survivors, to spend an hour or 2 hours with therapy dogs, is just amazing. And it's an amazing gift that they give every single year. Another community partner is actually Disney. You might have heard of them. And Disney is amazing. They've been an ongoing supporter of Harbor House for many, many years. And they sponsor our Thanksgiving every single year. And so I'm going to tell a brief story. So we used to have a private donor that would sponsor our Thanksgiving. And he let me know that the chef that he had been using wasn't able to help us with Thanksgiving. And that was 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. And this was 5 years ago. And I had a bit of a panic because I'm like, how do I come up with 120 meals really, really fast for Thanksgiving? And so I called Disney and I just said, hey, I have a problem. And I was just wondering if you would help me. And I got a phone call back in probably about 10 minutes. And they're like, we're going to do it. And I said, okay, how much is it going to cost? Because I still had the donor who said that he would pay for the meal. And they're like, Michelle, no, this is just a gift for the community. And so that happened 5 years ago. And they have continued to sponsor our Thanksgiving for our survivors in the shelter, and that number has definitely grown. Sometimes we have 150 people at that point in time that they're helping provide food for. In addition to, they give all kinds of in-kind donations of clothing, Disney toys, just really helping spread the magic for all of the kids that are in our community, as far as in the emergency shelter, transitional housing, kids at our camp. And so they really make sure that our kids have a Christmas. And also, if they don't have a Christmas with us during the holidays, we do Christmas in July, and they help support that. So they've just been a phenomenal ongoing partner for many, many years, since before I've been here as well. So honoring them for all of their longevity of the work that they've done, because they've been supporting Harbor House. And I probably have to look back, probably over 20 years they've been supporting Harbor House.
Wow.
And then Ted, for those of you who don't know, Ted, with him telling his story about being a childhood survivor and how life could have been different, and how he really embraces that it's difficult, or the difficulty of being a child in that situation and not knowing what to do, just really takes a lot of courage. And we wanted to honor you and your champion of our cause, especially when we're talking about the kids and when we're talking about the pets, but also all the work that you've done when it comes to walk a mile in her shoes, because there is a place for men to stand up to other men and say that this is not okay. And that's the other position that you've taken, is really having that conversation with other men, having conversations with survivors or who are in it. I can't tell you guys how often Ted has reached out to me and just said, hey, I know someone here. How can we connect her or him to services? So he and I text every now and then, and I help share information. So that happens behind the scenes. And that just shows your integrity when it comes to when you believe in something and how you want to help. And so there you go. Now you don't have to come.
Wow. Such an honor. You're going to make me cry again. We did interviews with, God bless her, Michelle, who is amazing. The other Michelle with 1L. And I'm all of a sudden, it's like, where's the tissues? Caught me completely off guard. Just having the conversation, I knew I was there for it. I pet the beautiful babies beforehand, the two Goldens, and then all of a sudden Michelle asked me, like, I think the first question, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna bawl my eyes out right now. Get it together, Bogert. But that just shows you that the impact that that kind of thing that you go through, either as an adult, as a DV survivor, or a child as a child abuse survivor in a DV home, stays with you forever. And so you can go to as many therapy sessions as you want. You can get a good handle on it and handle it as an adult and then become an advocate. But it doesn't mean that you've forgotten. Right. And so it's so important, the work that you all do, because I know that what's happening, all of the service you're providing, you're helping another Ted, a little guy, a little girl, get out of that. And so it's a beautiful thing what Harbor House provides, life-saving, and I cannot stress that enough, life-saving in so many instances. And so the fact that we have the largest facility, emergency facility in this state, is absolutely unbelievable. And I just want more people to know about it, to give back, because whenever I go on, whenever I do this show or I do press for the Walk a Mile or I promote, I can't tell you how many people come up to me and say, I'm so glad you did it. I'm so glad we have this, because I've never talked about it before. And I went through X, Y, and Z, or I saw my mother and sometimes even my father go through X, Y, Z. And so it's very powerful, the ripple effect that you all Absolutely. Have.
And when you say that, that's such an important piece of what it is that we do, because domestic violence is more than just the two people who are in that relationship. It impacts everybody who's also in relationship with them. So, we have conversations about coworkers that thought that something was happening, and then something happened and they lost their coworker, and she might have been gunned down in the parking lot. And it's one of those things that, like, that was a ripple effect, is that it impacted their workplace. It's also going to be the 2 kids or the 3 kids or the 4 kids who are at home. And it's, if they don't reach out for services and they don't know that there's a life in a different way, or life on the other side of that violence, that, boys are twice as likely to become abusers, and the girls are 4 times as likely to become victims themselves. And so that's why we do so much work when the kids are living in our emergency shelter, when we're talking to kids that are in school. Our Camp Hope program is really specifically working with kids who come from a household where domestic violence was happening and they're now in safe housing. Just so much of what we do is not just to do the Band-Aid work, which a lot of people talk about, but it's also to do that intervention work and also all of that healing work as well, so that people know that there's life on the other side of domestic violence. Because when you're in it, you don't know that there's life on the other side.
You really don't.
But there really is something different. There really is something that you can get, and you deserve it, and you can make your choice to walk in that direction. And part of that is it takes a lot of courage in order to leave a situation, especially when financially it's really hard to be able to leave. So
yes, amazing. It's so true. So tell them how they can learn more about Harbor House and how they can get tickets to Purple Door or donate. Give them the best way to reach out for all of the above.
Sure. So if you're interested in attending Purple Door, you can always go to our website, or you can just look up Purple Door 2025, and then you'll end up going to our Purple Door Luncheon website. So that's a good way. If you're interested in donating, and just in general, if you want to sponsor an animal for Paws for Peace, or if you want to get engaged and involved, you can always follow us on social media or go to our Harbor House website, click on Give Help, and then it'll take you to our donation page. You can always reach out to events@harborhousefl.com to find out more about Purple Door or any of the events that we have coming up. And another one that Ted is really involved in, and we're super excited about getting our first committee meeting started, is going to be Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. And that's actually going to be on February 12th this year in 2026. And so we're excited about that. And that's where we all go downtown in front of the courthouse, and we walk from the courthouse down to City Hall, and we're looking forward to that. We're unveiling a new logo and lots of different things and ways for people to get engaged in the cause that best suits them.
And what is the crisis hotline number, just before we head out?
Oh, our statewide number, because I know that there might be other people, is 1-800-500-1119. And our local number is 407-886-2856.
And I'll make sure I put that in the comments, the section below. All right. I'm looking forward to October 8th. I am looking forward to seeing you all there. And if you can't be there, we'd love for you to donate. I'd love for you to donate, get involved, learn more about Harbor House. If you have anybody who's in the situation, the numbers are below. I strongly encourage you to reach out. I just know that this organization has made a big impact on so many people's lives, and being able to be an advocate of it at my ripe old age is such a true blessing. And I'm very honored and thankful to be part of this year's October 8th Purple Door Luncheon. So thank you, love. I appreciate you. You're amazing. Again, website, social media. If you can't find any of it, reach out to me. I will get you to the right people, I promise. All right, guys, get out, support, love on people. They need it. Trust me. All right, we'll see you guys later. Thanks, Michelle, so much.
Thank you.
Bye.